I'm going to cast on 20 stitches with the figure 8 cast on, and this is a no graft cast on, so I can use this instead of leaving live stitches and then grafting later. So the first thing I'm going to do, I have these two double pointed needles here. You need to use double pointed needles, or you can use short circular needles. So I'm going to start from left and go right, and my yarn tail is coming over the top of this bottom needle, and now my yarn is going to go behind and over that top needle. And I'm going to go back and forth, weaving the yarn in between these two needles in a figure 8. So that's one on top and one on bottom, two on top and two on the bottom, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, gets a little fiddly about now, 9, and 10. And now I'm going to go one more on the bottom. So now my working yarn is in place to start to work these stitches all the way around. So now we have 10 on top, 10 on bottom. So I'm going to be redistributing onto more double pointed needles as I'm working. This is something you want to take slow. Okay, so now the top ones here are mounted with the right leg in front and the left leg in back. On the bottom needle here, they're mounted with the right leg in back and the left leg in front. So if you want to make this untwisted, which is going to make it look just like there's a knit all the way across here, then you're going to want to make sure that you don't twist the stitches on the second side. So the top is fairly straightforward. Just going to try to keep from losing that bottom needle. So I go a little bit slower than I would usually knit. And I'm going to make sure that I'm not losing all of my stitches off the end of my needle. So as I'm going along here, I'm redistributing, and apparently I'm also splitting some stitches. So let me unsplit that stitch. So there's my 6th stitch. Okay, so this last one here is a little bit loose because you remember it was just laid across the top there. So I'm going to just let that hang loose right there and tuck it in a little bit there. My working yarn and my tail are tucked in a little bit. Now I'm just going to turn the corner here, and I'm going to hold my tail in my hand as I do this so that I don't lose it. Okay, so remember I was saying the right leg is going to be in back, the left leg is going to be in front. You can see that here. Right leg in back, left leg in front. So I'm just going to be careful to make sure that I don't twist these stitches. Okay, so I want to open those up as I'm going along. And I have 5 here. I'm going to distribute some stitches onto one other double point. And I'm almost finished with this first round of stitches. Okay, the last one is going to look a little twisted. Don't worry about that. Just do your last stitch. Okay, and now this is what it looks like right now, and this is ready to start knitting in the round. After a few rounds, you're going to want to tighten this up right across here. That is your cast-on round, or row rather. So it's just going to be kind of like grafting. You want to tighten it up just a little bit at a time all the way across, and make sure that you're not tightening it too tight, because that's going to make it much more difficult later if you want to adjust it. So I'm just doing this slowly all the way across, and I'm going to go back as many times as it takes me to be able to get this into the correct gauge. And now here is the bottom after being tightened up. So the back here is plain stockinette, and the front here is patterned, and it just goes right over the edge. This is going to be a toe-up sock.